The little boy casually placed a glass marble on the floor, only to be shocked when it began rolling on its own. Jack witnessed this and immediately realized a terrifying truth: the entire building was severely tilted. They had only moved in the day before, never expecting that 11 years of hard-earned savings would buy them nothing more than a dangerous home. The next morning at work, Jack couldn't shake his unease. He searched online for information about the building, and what he found made his blood run cold. He wasn't the only one who had noticed the problem, many others were already talking about it. Some even bluntly called it a shoddy construction project. But when he returned home and tried to test it again, the marble sat perfectly still on the floor. Relieved, Jack thought it had all been a false alarm. That night, a heavy rainstorm suddenly broke out. Rainwater seeped in through cracks in the outer wall, spreading into the third floor where new fractures appeared, accompanied by sharp snapping sounds. Yet hidden beneath the pounding of the storm, no one noticed. Danger was quietly closing in. 2 days later, Jack hosted a housewarming party. Family and friends raised their glasses in celebration. Amid laughter and chatter, all unease was temporarily forgotten. Late into the night, with everyone slightly drunk, the guests decided to stay over. No one realized that this seemingly cozy arrangement was actually putting more people in harm's way. The next morning, Philip, still groggy from a hangover, suddenly remembered he had a friend's wedding to attend. Fighting off his headache, he went downstairs and hailed a taxi at the entrance. The moment he sat inside, the building let out a deep, horrifying rumble. The street cracked open, the ground shook, and the high-rise collapsed downward in an instant. In less than 20 seconds, the entire building vanished into a cloud of dust and a yawning black abyss. Philip's taxi was swallowed in the collapse and crushed upward by the force, ending up perched inside the fifth-floor living room of Jack's apartment. In the chaos, Jack mustered every ounce of strength to drag Philip out of the wrecked car. But just as he caught his breath, a desperate scream pierced the air. His first thought was that his wife was in trouble, and he bolted without hesitation. When he followed the voice, however, he discovered it wasn't his wife at all. It was Lucy, a female colleague who had stayed the night. Jack searched frantically but could not find any sign of his wife or child. A horrifying thought struck him: they might not even be inside the building anymore. Rescue teams soon arrived, but the scene was far worse than anyone had imagined. This wasn't just a simple building collapse, it was a massive sinkhole disaster. Drones were sent down into the pit, but halfway through they lost signal and the feed went dark. Jack, overwhelmed with guilt, blamed himself for ever inviting family and friends to the gathering. Meanwhile, the media quickly reported the accident. 10:50 a.m., Seoul. A catastrophic sinkhole swallowed an entire building. At least 30 people sustained minor injuries and 7 were critically injured, all rushed to hospitals. On the surface, families feared for those trapped below, worried they had no food or water. Just as desperation peaked, the previously lost drone suddenly reconnected, transmitting images of survivors inside. Relief swept through the crowd, there were still people alive. But the forecast brought devastating news: a massive storm was expected that very night. For the trapped survivors, it was yet another crushing blow. Rescue teams scrambled to prepare supplies, dropping food and communication devices via parachutes. Survivors received the packages, and Philip quickly dialed the satellite phone, establishing contact with the rescue center. As night fell, the torrential rain returned. Floodwaters surged upward, soon reaching the roof of the sunken